Up to you.
Welcome back. We are thrilled to introduce Denise Johansson, the co-founder and CEO of Infuse from Finland. And she will talk to us today about the Infuse journey, how to enable change and innovation in the fast-paced and quickly changing payment industry. So the stage is yours, Denise, and I will be back for Q&A.
Hi, and welcome to this session. Session branded as the Infuse journey. How to enable change and innovation in the fast-paced and quickly changing payment industry. This is my first fully virtual keynote session, so let's hope we nail it. My name is Denise Johansson and I'm a co-founder of Infuse. Infuse was founded here in Finland back in 2016. Today we employ more than 50 people and we are one of the fastest growing fintechs in the Nordics. Just recently we were also name dropped on the FinTech top 50 list. But who am I? Well, I'm a first-time entrepreneur, but the third generation of entrepreneurs in my family. I'm a mom of two, a boy and a girl. I'm a wife, a sister, a daughter, a friend. I'm a CrossFit enthusiast and I love lifting heavy things. But I also like to relax in the nature and enjoy a nice glass of wine. But what took me here today is my perhaps little nerdy interest into the payment industry. I've been working with payments my whole adult life, more than 15 years. I've been working both on consumer side, corporate side, domestic and foreign payments. The last 10 years I've been working on the IT infrastructural side of digital payments. And it's on this path when I met my co-founders. What the co-founders and me saw 4 years back when we decided to found Infuse was a gap in the industry. The existing payment processors were either country-specific or huge corporate with lots of IT legacy. And no one to really take care of the new players wanting to enter the field of payments. The new players, they start from zero volume and they all seek to win a global share in the market. So we founded the company with one mission: to enable change and innovation within the payment industry. By this presentation, I hope that I'm able to give you some insights to how we see that we are contributing to the fast-paced and quickly changing industry of payments. As mentioned, a trend we saw in the industry was the seek for global solutions. No new players enter any industry with a mission to serve only one region or one country. All new players entering any market are looking on the horizon of enabling something global, to scale something globally. But no one within our industry had 4 years ago yet figured out a one integration solution for a global market. So this became our first mission. To really enable change, we must do something different from the ones before us. So we then solved this by being the first to set up payment processing in the public cloud. Today, our AWS infrastructure enables us to serve customers globally. And as we are certified payment processor both on the Visa and the MasterCard schema, we also have the compliance to serve customers globally. Fun fact, our first customer were a Nordic player entering the market within 3 countries. and just a few months later our second customer entered the market in Eastern Asia. So within the first 6 months of operations we had already 4 different time zones, 4 different currencies and languages implemented into the service. And that was the first real proof of how scalable our solution is. Our second move was then to take the saying fast time to market to reality. If you Google on any kind of IT services, you will see that we all promise the same thing. We promise fast time to market. But we maybe didn't agree with the payment industry 4 years back. We saw that all new features took years to get to production and they were really costly for the industry. So we wanted to challenge that. And our first proof of what real fast time to market actually means was when our Nordic customer were among the first to launch Apple Pay back in 2017 in the Nordics. The other players that launched at the same time as them had started the project 1 year before Enfuse was even founded. So what took them nearly 2 years to get to production, we did in less than 3 months. So from years to months, then we can start talking about real fast time to market. To attract the global market, we at Enfuse couldn't narrow down our offer to only one segment. To attract a global market for ourselves, we saw that we need a platform that suits all kind of digital payment needs. So today we have customers on prepaid, debit, credit, combination of those. We have those only serving the fleet segment. We have customers evenly on Visa and MasterCard, but we have also customers that have built their own merchant networks. So who are our customers? This slide will show you. I'm not sure you are recognizing the logos and the name, but what I can tell you is that our customers vary a lot in size. Our smallest customers have only approximately 1,000 plus customers, while the biggest has almost 10 million customers, and they all are running on the same service at Enfuse. So what do we exactly do for our customers? It usually is a little hard to grasp. Well, we provide the infrastructure and the whole business process for all of them so that they can issue their new or renewed products to their consumer or corporate customers. The headline of this section included fast-paced and quickly changing payment industry. But how fast is the payment industry really changing? Let's take a look. So I'm comparing the evolution of payments to the evolution of humans in this picture. For us humans, it took us nearly 2 million years to become what we are today. Today we can learn, we can communicate, and we can anticipate of what next to come. We are smart versions of humans. But when we look at the history of payments, it was only in 1950 when Diners Club launched their first charge card. In 1959, Amex launched the first plastic card. So going just a little forward from 1959, 2014, Then Apple Pay launched the first tokenized payments method. And today we already have payments embedded in our watches, mobile applications, and even in smart home. So it took payment industry less than 70 years to learn behaviors, to communicate to users, and to anticipate of what comes next. So on the evolution of payments, how will it develop further on? Well, I don't think that it's about making the payments any faster. I don't think it's about making them even more secure. I think that it's really about building purpose around payments, and that will be the next big evolution in payments. Yes, I do see that soon you can pay with your fingerprint or by your face, but that's already there, so it's just embedding existing to the payments. And therefore I see that purposeful payments will be the next big thing. But what does that then mean essentially? Well, in simple words, it's from PFM to LSM. So from personal finance management to lifestyle management. If you think about personal finance management in its classical way, it's more or less about cost tracking. In the evolution of that, you can make some budgets and you can compare budgets to outcome, and you can even get some suggestions on what to do with the money left on the account in the end of the month. But to make payments really purposeful and to support your lifestyle as of today and what you want it to be in the future, we need to support people in making the right choices already before spending is executed. So that's kind of what I mean with lifestyle management. But how can we build this? Who are the key players to make this happen? Well, essentially, it's everyone within the ecosystem of payments. It's the bank, the issuers, it's the merchants, it's the FinTechs, and it's us, the consumers. The banks or the issuers, well, they see all of my transactions. By transaction data, they can read a lot about who I am. The merchants, on the other hand, they know exact, on detail level, what I am buying. And they could actually influence in what I am buying next. The FinTechs, again, well, they are depending on who they are on different paths of the whole value chain of payments. But what FinTechs really can do is that they can attract consumers with new solutions that they have proved. So in Europe, for example, we have a legislation called PSD2, and this allows the banks open up their APIs so that FinTechs can fetch data, and by that data is being shared on the consent of a consumer, and by that you can start building new features to manage lifestyle management. So again, how do I sew all of this together? The Infuse story, enabling change within the industry. Well, bear with me just a few more minutes. Let's zoom out a little bit and take a look at the bigger picture. Every one of us, I believe, want to make a positive impact. We are all people and individuals with different roles. As a mother, I certainly want to see my children are given the best of capabilities to survive out in the big world. As an employee, I want to see, as an employer, I want to see my employees grow in their professions. And as an entrepreneur, I want to make a difference for coming generations. I assume and I hope that every one of us have both seen and heard about the sustainability goals set by the United Nations to keep our Earth a healthy place for coming generations. The goal is to keep global warming less than 1.5 degrees from where it is today. To enable this to be a part of solving this global issue, I would say is a dream goal, and we can definitely talk about making a positive impact. Earlier this year, The Economist published an article, "What if technology tracked all carbon emissions?" Pretty interesting question. In the beginning of the article, they said that late 2019, there was a company from Finland doing banking services introducing a new service called My Carbon Action. That company happens to be Enfuse. The rest of the article is mostly future-looking and fictionary, but yes, it gives the idea how the world needs to change for us to keep it sustainable and how to help people make right choices within their lifestyle. When reading this article and thinking of its core message, you can see that it's not about technology and what type of things we can do. The capabilities are available. It's more about the big events that will change the attitude of the people that will take the longest, not the technology implementations. But with the right technology and with the right will, we can help the attitude change. With Enfuse, we can support the ecosystem, providing the right type of services to work towards attitude change. And by that, I believe that we will achieve our mission to change and innovate the payment industry. Going back to the Enfuse journey, we built the company to serve our customers with traditional services, but in a new way. As mentioned from the Economist article last year, an add-on service giving us a unique position within the field of payment processing, we launched the service called My Carbon Action, with an aim to educate consumers globally on how their spending is affecting the carbon emission. Let me show you a short clip of what My Carbon Action really is about.
Are you waking up to yet another day or to a new future? Daily life is busy and it can be difficult to make sustainable choices. We decided to make it easier and to help you take both big and small steps towards a more sustainable future. It is time to set the wheels in motion. Let us present My Carbon Action, a solution that helps consumers to see the consequences of their lifestyle. We've made it simple, visual and individual. Use it and being sustainable will grow into a habit. My Carbon Action calculates and visualizes the carbon footprint for every single purchase. It motivates the individual to go out there and take small steps in the right direction. And it unites consumers with banks, merchants and retailers in the fight against climate change. Sustainability should be simple. Now it is. Bring that value to your business and to your customers.
The first step in creating a change is always to evaluate current state of affairs. So by educating consumers how their lifestyle is impacting global warming today, and by educating them in doing small changes, how they can have a positive impact impact on the future. That is what My Carbon Action is about. To summarize the Enfuse story in short, the company was founded with a mission to enable change and innovation within the payment industry. The technology behind payment processing have developed with rapid pace the last 70 years. This left the industry processors with huge investments into legacy infrastructures that could no longer serve the new generation of fintechs. And that is where we at Enfuse stepped in. Today we believe in continuous investments in our own technology, so we are not left behind with legacy infrastructure. But the next big thing in our industry, we believe, is going to be lifestyle management. And there we see ourselves with a unique offering that help us build a future that we ourselves believe in. Thank you for listening into this, and now I'm available for questions that you might have.
Thank you so much for this presentation, Denise. So, chiming in on your presentation, you did mention you like heavy lifting, and it seems like you onboarded some heavy lifting through your work. What is the heaviest burden or weight within creating a global solution for payment technologies, especially when we talk about a fast-moving market integration?
I would say compliance and legislations. So we still have different legislations in different regions, but also country-specific legislations. So the heavy lifting definitely comes from making sure you comply to all the national or regional specific legislation, as well as the global ones.
And then the question is if we think about the audience listening, how can companies and organizations prepare for this accelerated evolution within payment systems?
I think it's important to not only think well about yourself, about your own business, but really look around. What is consumer demand today? What are the younger generation? How are they looking at the world? How are they different from us a little older? And can we build solutions that will attract them? Yeah.
And especially when and you showed it in your slides, we're moving to different ways of payment. We now don't pay via a wallet, but our wallets are our wearables. We're probably going to go into even chip integration. I know in Sweden it's very popular. You're from Finland. What does that mean on a behavioral level? Because you mentioned lifestyle, in terms of how people are addressing payment or interacting with businesses.
Well, payments are so easy to make today. So they are almost, well, too easy. So I think it's about spending management as well. So, and that's why I think like smart payments that can anticipate your economy and anticipate how you behave throughout the month, so that you make sure that you don't go over debt, so that you find sustainability in your own economy.
So I think it's interesting you mentioned the word debt, because I moved from Europe to North America, and I think the perception of a debt lifestyle is very, very different in Europe than North America. I want to say that when I arrived, my banker was very surprised that I've never been in debt. They told me it was very bizarre, and they asked me how did I manage to live, and I said, well, I just lived within my means. So again, not to ask you to predict, but talking about these differences between Europe and North America, what needs to change for in terms of lifestyle for both, let's say, mindsets of spending in your mind?
Well, I think it's about creating more awareness. So spending money just like 50, 70 years back, you had to have the money in your pocket. You had, like, you received money and you spent it. And just during the last 70 years, all the payments have gone digital, and you don't have as deep insight into your own economy as you used to have. So I do think it's about making the new generations aware that the figures that you see on the screen, that it's real money. So learning about economy and about money value from young ages, and then, awareness.
Yeah, because I agree with you that I think this transformation from physical, physical transactions of money or goods into easier and easier button click transaction, and not even, it's now gesture based, is something that is probably baked in to make it easier, but to a level that it can cause harm, financial harm for people. Yeah. Who do you think is, I don't want to say accountable, but who do you think should engage in order to educate and to transform this kind of consciousness you're talking about?
I don't think we can put it on any specific player. I think it's within the ecosystem of payments. So if we look about gaming sites, they have quite specific rules that how much can you spend and do you afford spending this much. But then on the other hand, I can spend my whole salary buying clothes the same day I got my salary, and no one is ever blaming that. E-commerce is other than the gaming sites. So, and this also goes back to the sustainability and creating a sustainable lifestyle. So I think it's the whole ecosystem, and making users aware that spending online is just as bad as spending it on the same day you got your salary.
Or is good. It depends, I think, what you spend it on. And I really appreciate, we only have 2 minutes left, but I really want to dig into the carbon tracking program and to sustainability in a sense of green tech. I want to ask you, what learnings did you have from that, and how are you planning to implement it towards future projects and initiatives?
So today we are still looking at how my behaving is causing carbon emissions. So we are still at the end that I have already executed my purchases, but I really want to see it like the carbon emissions showing before I do my spending. So for example, doing my groceries, showing the tomatoes that is flown in from Spain or that it have grown here in Finland. I want to see how the carbon emission are different for those two products and all the products, so that I can start making smart choices already before I have spent my money. And that is where we want to take my carbon action.
That is a fantastic vision. And I think the conclusion is that things are moving fast, and we have to be more informed, and data is enabling us to create a better understanding of where our spending and the outcome of our spending is. So I want to thank you again so much for joining us. Hope to meet you in real life after this weirdness. And thank you again, Denise.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.